Hey guys, we just got home a little bit ago, probably about 10 minutes ago. It is 4:58, it's almost 5 o'clock. We just got home from baseball. I've got to get this football food going. I tried to film, didn't realize my battery was dead, so that's kind of par for the course for me right now. This is a Hamilton Beach slow cooker that comes with 3 inserts, a 2-quart, a 4-quart, and a 6-quart. This is the 2-quart. I sprayed it with some cooking spray. In the bottom, I have about a cup and a half, maybe 2 cups of chili with no beans. Make your own, freeze it. It works perfectly in this. If you're on dietary restrictions like we are, you can do gluten-free, low sodium, whatever it is that you need, or just make a chili that your family likes. It's probably your standby recipe. Then on top of that, I've got 1 can of Rotel diced tomatoes with green chili, and mine are of course the no salt added. And then I've got 16 ounces of the processed cheese. Now I use the Velveeta Mexican, so it has a little bit of jalapenos and a little bit of spice to it. So that is what is in here. I've got it on high just to get it going. Once it gets going and once we get the next dish in the oven, I'm going to turn this down to low while I go shower. When I come back, I'll give it a stir, and it should be just about done because, again, everything in here is already cooked. You're really just heating it through. So I'm going to set you guys up. We're going to make some of the most delicious buffalo chicken dip you've ever had. Alright guys, I apologize for the lighting. We're going to work with it though. We're going to go with what we know. This is a 13 by 9 pan. I am doubling this recipe because it is a favorite of ours. So I'm going to go ahead and double it. You guys are getting like a great shot of bananas there, aren't you? So I'm going to go ahead and get this doubled. In this 13 by 9 pan, I'm just going to go ahead and spray it really liberally with some cooking spray because there is cheese in this and I want to make sure that it doesn't stick and gum up my pan. This is the recipe here. It is from the Seriously Good Freezer Cookbook, that freezer meal cookbook. You guys have heard me talk about this cookbook so much. I'm sure you're absolutely sick of it. Our ingredients are 1 pound of boneless, skinless chicken. We've actually got more than that. I cooked my chicken breasts in my Instant Pot and shredded them with my hand mixer, so I've got all my chicken is already done and shredded up. I did that as part of prep. This was cooked with about a half of a cup of unsalted chicken broth for me. You could use chicken broth or water. Then we're not going to use the salt, but we've got some pepper. We've got it calls for a tablespoon of butter, but that's to cook the chicken, and we skipped that step. We did ours in the Instant Pot. Then it calls for half a cup per pound, so we're going to use a pound of red hot sauce, 2 packages of cream cheese, a single batch only gets 1, 2 tablespoons, so for us a 1/4 cup of sour cream, and then a half of a cup of shredded cheddar cheese, so for us that'll be 2. And then on top, we're going to drizzle some blue cheese dressing. So I'm going to grab my hand mixer and a bowl, and we're going to get prepping. The first thing we're going to do is take this cream cheese and mix it with the sour cream, and that's going to give us our base for the dish. So I will stop the filming and speed you guys through that so you don't have to listen to my hand mixer go. But again, it's 2 8-ounce blocks of cream cheese, a 1/4 cup of sour cream for a double batch. We'll get that together and get it in the bottom of the pan, and I'll meet you guys right back here.
We're on a journey, looking back on the things that we've taken for granted, but feels like we're learning to be better without what's been holding us back now. Let's move closer to a new history, find out what we can be together. Take my hand and we will conquer the world. This is
So that is easy peasy lemon squeezy. Here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna scrape all of this into this pan and spread it out as best we can. Here's a little tip. Don't throw this bowl in the sink and get another one to mix the other ingredients in, because here's the thing, it's all going to be interrelated anyway. Just use the same bowl. Get as much of this out as you can and just use the same bowl. So I'm going to spread this out as best I can. It's not super easy, especially since I greased the pan, but you just want to get a pretty even layer on the bottom. Sometimes it helps to spray your spatula if it's sticking. I tend to just get really, really messy and just kind of smush it. I don't even really spread it. I just kind of smush it, because once it bakes with all the chicken and everything and you scoop it out, it doesn't even have to be in an even layer like a cake or anything. So just work it. Work it. I don't want to get copyright. And y'all don't want to hear me sing anyway. That would be horrible. So let's get this in here. It has been a crazy busy day. I started my morning this morning at 5 a.m. and haven't stopped. So hopefully once we get some of this stuff done, there are some board games. I believe my middle son and I have called Monopoly. My youngest son wants to play more Uno. So we're going to do some board games, watch some football, and have some finger foods. All right. So that is that. The next thing that we're going to do is we're going to take the chicken. Now, I looked up and saw that 3 cups of chicken, shredded chicken, is about equal to 1 pound. We need 2 pounds, so I need 6 cups of chicken, or I can use my food scale. And I'm so sorry, you guys. I did not mean to drop you. That was so rude. Anyway, what we're going to do is I'm going to grab my food scale. And on that food scale, I'm going to place this bowl. This should be a song. And I'm going to turn it over to pounds, and then we're just going to scoop out 2 pounds of this shredded chicken. So get your hands right on in there, because whatever's left is going on chicken nachos, and I don't think there's going to be much left at all. So let's see what we end up with. There may not be any left, as a matter of fact. Doesn't look like there's going to be much chicken left. Maybe none. 10, 15 and 5/8. Okay, so 2 pounds, 1 ounce. So we're just gonna put it all in, right? We are all in. We set this aside. The next thing that we're going to do is, to this bowl, we're going to add our hot sauce. So I'm going to turn this way. I'm going to grab that same measuring cup that we used, and in this bowl is going to go 1 cup of Frank's Red Hot. So we're going to do 4 of these 1/4 cups, and then I will probably add just a smidge more, because why not? So there's 1, 2, 3, and 4. All right. So once that's done, we're going to mix this, and then we're going to spread it over top of this and put our cheese on it, and that's it. It is that simple. I'm going to try and mix it with this same spatula. I don't know if that's going to work or not. So far it looks like it might. So you just want to get some of that Red Hot on all of the chicken. None of the chicken should be without it. It looks a little bit like I'm grabbing up some of that cream cheese too off of the side, which that's fine. Like I said, all kids in the pool. It's all going in the same place. So we're not even worried about it. You want to get down in there in the bottom Make sure that you really stir that around. Break it up in the middle, get all of that done, and then it's time to put it in the pan. So you can zhoosh it around, and it's lots and lots and lots of chicken. So we're just gonna scrape all of that out, get all of the juicy goodness, and then we're just gonna spread it around. And you just wanna cover the pan as evenly as you can. Doesn't have to be perfect. Doesn't even have to be close. You could call it a crystal casserole. Nowhere near perfect, but still pretty darn good. Okay. So I'm just gonna spread this out a little bit more. This is a family favorite. What I'm gonna tell you guys is this is from that freezer meal cookbook. It does freeze beautifully. I made 3 or 4 of these the last time that I made it. Froze all of them. And when we took them out to use them, they were delish. So that is it. I'm going to give it a little sprinkle of pepper right across the top. Do-do-do, do-do-do, do-do-do. And now, for a little extra measure, I'm just going to, whoops, that lid's not on. Look what I did. I'm just going to sprinkle a little bit more of this on, because we do like ours spicy. You do not have to do this step. It is not part of the original recipe. And if I were not putting this one into the oven to eat tonight, if I were freezing this, I would not do this. I would wait until I thawed it to cook it to do this step. And then last but not least is our cheddar cheese. I am going to stick my hand in here because I am using all of the cheese that's left in this bag, and we're just going to sprinkle it on top. Yes, it's cheddar, not traditionally what you use, but on top of this cheddar, we're going to put a drizzle of blue cheese dressing, and then when it comes out, we put crumbled blue cheese on it. I've got a container of crumbled blue cheese in the refrigerator. Mine never looks as pretty as the one in the cookbook. Does that ever happen to you guys? You go to make something, it looks so good in the cookbook, and then when you make it, it's like, oh, mine doesn't look like that, but it sure does taste good. So that's what we're doing today. We're just gonna get this cheese in here. This bad boy right here, this is going to go in a 375 degree oven, and we're going to bake it for about a half an hour. That's long enough for me to go grab a quick shower. My husband can listen for the timer, and oh, before I do, let's get that blue cheese. Give me just a second. All right, so for your blue cheese, you're literally just going to drizzle it across the top in whatever fashion floats your boat. If you don't like blue cheese, if you prefer ranch, whatever it is that your family likes, go with that. I know some people really, really don't like blue cheese. We all love it, including my 9-year-old. So go ahead. I've got another bottle of blue cheese for dipping after this comes out of the oven, and I will chop up some celery to have with that blue cheese when this comes out. So that is pretty much it. It's just a little drizzle for a little bit of flavor. We'll add more to it when it comes out. I'm gonna pop this bad boy in the oven. I'll see you guys back here when it is done. I wanted to show you guys really quick. I did go ahead and open a second bottle of blue cheese dressing, and then I just wanted you to see from the side, if you can, maybe I should tilt this up a little, the layers on there. So you've got that creamy bottom, the chicken, the cheese, and the drizzle. This stuff is amazing. So I'll see you guys back here in just a bit. All right, so here is that delicious dip. You guys can see where the blue cheese dressing just sort of melted on top. Everything in here is baked, and then I've got these blue cheese crumbles for those that like it. If everybody in your family likes it, you can sprinkle it on top before you bake it, or you can just have it on the side for everyone to put as they dish it out. I will tell you that I'm probably going to eat mine as a sandwich. I know that sounds really weird. I thought I would just maybe take a little spoonful of this up just for you guys to see what it looks like. And there it is. So it is so delicious. I don't know if that's going to focus or not, but it is so delicious. We've got our little assortment of chips over here to eat with it. The lightly salted, some corn chips, and then some regular for everybody else. So that is it. We're going to play some board games, watch some football, and have some yummy food. Our queso is pretty much done, and that's it.